Hello and welcome to this series of instructional videos on AECOsim Building Designer V8i. And in this session we're going to take our conceptual model with our space allocation that we've coordinated and collaborated with our facilities manager with, and we're going to be taking this through effortlessly and efficiently into the next phase of our design project, that of the construction modeling. To start with, we're going to be looking at creating the floor slabs. We're going to be using design utility tools. We're going to be using feature modeling. We're going to be looking at Data Group Explorer, and we're going to be looking at display styles to round off this particular session. So let's get going. And the first thing we need to do is probably come down to Floor Selector here at the bottom of your screen. Make sure you've double-clicked on Floor 1. That sets the design plane to the first floor so that we can have peace of mind that whatever we do now is going to be set at the ground floor level. After that, come and select the ground floor space. And now let's create floor slabs. It's very easy in Building Design to do that, because if we come to our task-based interface, if you're architecturally based, you can come to your Architectural Design tab, go 6 rows down, first icon in, Place Floor Slab. If you're a structural engineer, you can come to the next tab down called Structural Modeling, and if you go 3 rows down, 3 icons in, Place Floor Slab is also there. The Place Slab dialog box opens, and we're going to click on this jump box here and choose Slab on Grade. We get a preview of it below that. Our placement options are from top. Our place by is going to be via a shape. The thickness of our slab is going to be 8 inches. And now, to create that slab, all we need to do is click once in our model. But there's another way of creating floors in Building Designer. Fast, furious, and definitely efficient. If you come in and make a selection set in your elevation, you'll highlight the 3 other floors that are in our structure currently. Now if we go back to our task-based interface and click on Place Floor Slab, we're going to change our type of floor slab to a composite slab, and underneath that we're going to change the thickness to 8 inches but leave the rest as top and shape. And then all we need to do now is click once, twice, and reset, and our 3 slabs are generated for us. How do we know? Well, pass your cursor over a random one here, and again you have that tooltip with a wealth of information presented to you. You may have noticed on creation of these, we're now starting to have information on top of information, and there's a very real need in the world today to perhaps filter out information that is not quite pertinent to us at this time in our project. Building Designer gives you one of the best ways to do this. It's called Level Display, and it's up here in your primary taskbar. You click on this and you get this dialog box. It says Level Display View 3 because that's the view that's in focus. You have the name of the model you're in and the levels that are available and have been used in this case because they have a dot against them. But we need to turn off our spaces. So we're going to uncheck or just unhighlight this A-area. Now that turns the level off in the view 3 that we have here. To turn it off in the others, all we need to do is come to this little icon here and go Apply to Open Views and click on him. Gone. We've filtered out that information. It's not deleted, it's just suppressed temporarily. Now there's a better way of approaching and getting to and utilizing level display, and we're going to be coming on to that in just a few seconds. Because the next level is that we've started collaborating with our design team partners. In this case, we did it before with our facilities manager. This time we're going to be using our structural engineers. And to do that, we're going to use one of the most powerful tools in the industry today, that of references in our primary taskbar. We're going to click on Attach Reference. We're going to choose S-Grid. Click OK, and your reference attachment settings dialog box open. Make sure in the orientation you have coincident highlighted, and simply click OK. The grid attaches itself to our model. And the beautiful thing about this is that Level Display, as we've just seen, gives you the ability to be able to filter the information that is presented to you. But we're going to go to this Level Display once more, and we're going to use a new method of doing it. Press Ctrl and E on your keyboard. Level Display opens for you, and now you can see that we have a new entry. We actually can control how the grid appears to us. So we want to take off, we want to filter out, we want to get down to a far deeper granularity in this. So we're going to uncheck or unhighlight AECOsim. Then we're going to click this icon up here, and now we control the level of data, the level of information that's presented to us at a much better level. So here's our grid. We're going to start working with that. But hold on a second. There's a change order. Our client has come in and said that not only do they have a visually stunning structure externally, but internally they want to create an awe-inspiring entrance to their structure. So they want an atrium. and they want it punched between the second and third floors. To do that, to start with, let's come down to our floor selector down at the bottom here and change to our third floor by double clicking on it. And after that, we're going to change a few of the parameters that we're going to be using before we click on a tool. We're going to choose a different active level. We're going to choose default. From that, we're going to choose a different color, that of red, and a different weight, that of 2. We're going to then come to our task-based interface, come to here, place block. And the place block dialog box opens for us. If we come into our top view here and use the wheel on our mouse to zoom in, we're going to come here to this intersection, and straight away you can see there's a yellow X with an icon above it. This is AccuSnap, and along with Accudraw, they provide the industry's best and most efficient ways of precision placement of your content. If we move my cursor just along this grid line here, you can see that at certain points the icons change. This gives you information about where you are on that particular object. At this point, we're at an intersection. What we're going to do now is that we're going to offset the start of our stencil from this grid line. And to do that, we're going to use Accudraw, and to activate Accudraw, all you need to do is press the space bar on your keyboard. Now Accudraw comes into focus. We need to place a temporary origin where AccuSnap has brought us to at the intersection. So on your keyboard, if you press the letter O, that gives us that temporary origin. And now all we need to do with the Y field activated, type in 1.5, hit the tab key twice and type in 1.5. And you can see as we zoom in here with our mouse wheel, AccuSnap and Accudraw have offset for us 1.5 feet from the intersection of that grid line. We're going to click once to accept that. You can see now that we're going to be placing this feature. You can zoom out with your mouse wheel, but also if you hold down your shift key and your left mouse button and then move your pan around your drawing in the way that you want to until you let go of both, and then you return back to your tool. We're going to come down to here. We're going to place that here, but again we're going to offset. So remember, we press this O button for origin on our keyboard, enter 1.5, tab, 1.5, tab, and straight away all we need to do is press. It's as easy as that. But hold on a sec, our client says not so fast. He actually wants one extra feature, because we've got to punch this through. We've only got this feature so far. We need to punch it through. We're going to come to our form modeling tab, right at the bottom, the penultimate icon, cut solids by curves. The cut solid curves dialog box opens. Our direction is going to be both, and our cut mode is through. Now to cut through this, what we're going to do first is select the floors we want to cut, that being the third. And if we hold down our control key, we can select the second floor as well. Now coming back to our top elevation, we can now click once to accept the cutting stencil, and left click once again, and straight away you can see the fact that we have punched through this stencil. If we change our display style here to monochrome and go to our view rotation, which is just here, we go to rotate view, you can see this, we can rotate our view to see those two atrium's holes have been punched. Here's a power tip for you. By moving your cursor over the center of this view rotation, you can hold down your left mouse button and move the sphere around, and AccuSnap will help you. When you've done that, you are going to rotate around that particular point in your structure. Okay, right click to reset. But the client, as he said, has come back with a change order. First off, he wants to move this atrium, and to do that we come back to our task-based modeling, form modeling, bottom row, move building feature. Click on that, and literally you can click on your feature. It hasn't gone away, it's still there waiting for you. Click once and then click twice, and then after that you can see that we can move it in any direction we want to, and Accudraw is helping us there to help us with a precision way of entering in a distance for us. I'm going to right click to reset that, because there's another way also of altering the shape of your feature. Come back to your cursor. When you have, select the atrium shape that's there. Now you've got the handles, and now you can adjust this to whichever size or shape you want on either floor. So just for effect, we're going to move it like that. Using Control Z, we're going to return both of those back. But our client is saying, not so fast. I want it to be very special. So up on the third floor, he wants a balcony. To do that, we're going to come to our task-based interface, to our modify toolbar, and we're going to come down here to Insert Vertex. Once we've done that, we can come and click once on our feature, hold down your control key, click again, and then you can start adding vertices to our model itself. So you've got this ability to create polygons from your model. And if we just rotate that a little bit here, and you can see if we're outside, we'd have the pan, but you can see there we have that very bespoke, very individual ability to create new content with inside Building Designer. So now that we've got that, our clients come back and said, okay, we've got a stunning exterior, we've got a breathtaking interior, but I want to go a step further because I want to start putting some structural details in here. I'm going to turn this back to a right isometric view. And with that, I'm going to come to our structural modeling tab. I'm going to come to third down, second icon in, place concrete column. To place the concrete columns, make sure on this jump box you have circular chosen. Underneath that you'll see the preview. Under standard section though, we need the magnifying glass. We need to make sure our code is US, our type is solid rounds, and from that we can then scroll down till we get to the 18-inch diameter and click OK. Now we can start placing our columns, but before we do that, let's make sure we're on the first floor by coming to Floor Selector and double-clicking on Floor 1 to set our design plane. And now we can start placing our columns on our grid as we move down our structure. Right-click to reset, and there we have it. So we've added a feature, we've used it as a stencil, you can still manipulate that feature, we've added structural elements, and now we need to go forward one step further. Because now it's about information when it comes to building information modeling, and we can embellish our model at any time, any place we want. How do we do that? Of course, we come to our task-based interface. We go to Data tab and our Data Group Explorer. Twirl down your slabs and click on Slab Schedule, and you'll see that we have our 4 slabs. Every time you highlight one in Data Group Explorer, it highlights it in the model for you. What we're going to do now is going to start adding in more information so that further down the line our design team partners can take advantage of that without having to delay project time or design time. To do that, we just need to right click and select Edit, and in this case we're going to come down to the identification part. On our item ID we're going to call this one S1, and in the name we're going to type in Slabs 01. Now to impose that onto our model, all we need to do is click once in any of our views, and you can see now straight away we have Slabs 01. Let's go to our second floor, Edit, Item ID, second floor, Slab 2, click once again. Let's go to our third floor and complete this building out. And finally, so there we have it, more information added to our Data Group Explorer for us to take control of, to utilize at any point we so wish to. So now that we've got our structure, we've got it starting to flesh it out, we've got our floor slabs, we've got our structural elements, we've seen how to use AccuSnap and Accudraw in concert with each other, we've looked at view display, but now we're going to be taking our display styles one stage further for either the presentation, design methodology, or the actual usage of at any stage. So we're going to come to our settings pull down menu, come to our display styles. The display styles dialog box opens, and before we really see what we can do here, so we're going to change our display style to illustration with shadows. And now what we're going to do here is select our forward drawing. We're going to return this back to where it was before. In other words, we're going to update it from the standard library. And with that, we're now going to start applying a different display style to this and showing you how to do that. So in this case, we're going to uncheck the transparency threshold, and in our visible edges, we're going to check a different color and a different weight. We're going to bump that up to 2. And with that, what we can do now to really take hold of this project is pass your cursor over your marker and to say, show me the cut of section A with this display style on. And now we get a really good idea of what we're looking at as we progress in our design methodology. We come into second one, section B, and we can utilize this under our view rotation, perhaps to our front view, or let's say to our right view, such as this. It's all down to your needs and your requirements.
And that's placing slabs, slab penetrations and hypermodeling in AECOsim Building Designer V8i. Thank you very much.